Hello everybody, this is Disha Snehal and you are watching Snehology 101 once again. And you know what episode is this? I don't even know the number. But guys, this episode is all about interviews. You should have guessed from my attire. But well, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind for the interview season. Things, I should say. Number one is getting a sharp pantsuit or a skirt suit depending on your taste and looking really sharp, at least this part of your frame, because well, you're going to be interviewing on Zoom and you need to make a good first impression. Number two, make sure that you respond to emails very quickly, instantly. Whatever you're doing, drop it and respond to emails that you're getting from ERAS, because the spots get filled very, very quickly and you have to literally be on your toes. I remember that when I was in my interview season and one day I received like 2 emails. One of the emails I quickly answered and the other one I had missed for like 5 minutes, and because I was rounding, and you know what? I actually missed the spot and I had to email them back and plead them to give me another slot. And they did give me another slot. That was like next month, but well, you don't want to be in that stressful situation, so avoid it and be always on your toes with your emails. Keep the notification on and just put your heads and minds and alertness into it. Number 3, about when is the morning for them and when is your night, because you will be emailing a lot to and fro. You don't want to be emailing in the middle of the night. So keep that in mind. Number 4, remember your schedules very well, because there are going to be a lot of time zone differences. And in the US itself, there are several time zone differences within a difference of an hour or so. So if you are in a different country altogether, you actually need to keep that in mind. And if you're in a different state and you're getting an email from a different state and the interview day and time is totally different from what it's going to be for you. So just have those things in mind and have like a calendar for yourself where you mark out the dates and the times for you. Number 5, know your CV and personal statement very, very well. Let me give you an example. I had this random poetry volunteer experience that I mentioned in my CV, and my interviewer in the last interview of the season in January asked me that do you remember what poems you performed, because it looks like a very interesting volunteer experience. And if I had not remembered that poem at that point of time, it would have been a problem, because it would have seemed like a lie. And even though I've written thousands of poems till now, I thankfully remembered it because I had written it down somewhere that I need to keep this in mind while walking into the interview. And hence my advice to you would be, like, literally whatever you're putting out there, you need to know your stuff well. If you say that I have danced in this competition, you should know what songs you danced on. Like, don't just write stuff that is random. And if you've written it, have a backing for it, because you just don't want to make the wrong impression, right? Moving forward, number 6 is being absolutely very nice. When you are in the interviews, when you're talking to the residents on Zoom calls, it's very easy to zone out because one person is talking. It's like a video. It's just a motion picture that you're watching on your phone. Maybe you might be in a different place altogether. You might be distracted by people around you. But the main and a very important point is that you as a candidate should be alert, interactive, not pushy, interactive, and not sleepy. And do not switch off your video flows and your don't just mute your mics, because you have to interact with the residents when there's a whole open house meeting going on. Ask questions that are relevant to you, and because if you don't interact, you've not made any impressions, and literally you're an unseen person, just a random name on that Zoom call, right? Moving forward, number 7, really analyze what kind of a place you're interviewing in. It's hard to do that when you're doing it over an internet call, and it's as hard for the program director and the residents to make a judgment of you. Keep watching the residents, the program director, the environment, ask questions, because you want to fit in when you're once here. And it's hard to do that over a Zoom call, but ask questions, try to follow them on Twitter, try to follow their web pages, look at their residents profiles, see if you will be a candidate that fits in, and don't just pick a place on the basis of the location, but also like whole vibe of that university. Attend their open house sessions, their meetings, whatever, because that helps you take a look at what is the what is the camaraderie between everybody, and how they gel with everyone, and what kind of a place is it? Is it toxic? And all these things are important. Number 8 would be to follow all these blogs and student doctor network and all these things, because they will give you a judgment of what kind of a place these were before COVID, because those people who've put in their blog posts about interviews have actually been there, so they have a good idea about it. It's a good idea to follow them and see, because a lot of places people end up mentioning, hey, this place looked very toxic to me, hey, this place has this problem or that problem, or these people seemed extremely nice, what an amazing vibe. Usually the vibe continues over a period of years, and usually doesn't change in a year, so it'll be a good idea to look at these blog posts and these conversations that happen over the internet. Even Facebook groups will be a good place to do a little bit of research. And of course Twitter is there, and a lot of people are being super interactive on these Twitter sessions and these Twitter posts. Number 9, make an Excel sheet of the programs that you end up interviewing in. Write the good points and the bad points, and start ranking them now, because let me tell you, once the interview season ends, and it's going to be like in a period of months, so you will faintly remember where you interviewed at in the beginning of the interview session, and you'll remember more about the programs that you interview at the end of it. So it's better to kind of have some substantial data on somewhere, maybe an Excel sheet, maybe a Word document, but have it, because I did not, and I did have some trouble ranking the programs. The good thing is that I already kept a list in my mind, if not in the Word document, but you should it's always preferable to have something to look at, the important nitty-gritty data, details, the way you felt after the interview session, all of these things. Maybe you do not remember it by the end of the interview season when you're ranking, so it's good to have like a document where everything is compiled. With that, I want to take your leave and wish you all the very best for the interview season. To all the people who are right now in the interview season, and to all those who might be appearing next year, these points will still hold validity, and maybe I will update a new how to do an interview later on, because maybe it's going to be face-to-face next year, who knows, hopefully, because it's really weird having these interviews over Zoom calls. But anyway, so with that, I'm just going to take your leave, and thanks for watching Snehology 101. Keep watching, share, like, subscribe, because that gives me motivation to make more videos. Alright, bye!